Hey, I'm Sam Garcia here from Dirty Alchemy, and I'm here with my lovely husband, Eddy Garcia, and we're on his regenerative farm on the west side of Maui, talking about a little bit more personal topic today. So say hi, Eddy.
I get to go off on my farming and my earthworms and the dirt under my fingernails and how that makes a human whole.
I mean, we wanted to talk today about why it's important to us for building an off-grid paradise and why that's important right now for us, and like why that's like personal values, and also I guess in the larger world.
That's why I was putting on pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, delicious. Who
Mm-hmm.
gets to eat better food than us?
Mm-hmm.
Engineer your lifestyle, sort of, in a way.
But I from knowing Eddy's story, I know that's not why you got into it. You weren't like, oh my gosh, I just want to eat the best food in the world.
So I don't know if you're coming at it from like a survivalist point of view,
I was.
People are worried about things going down. But what about just a form of wealth? What about like understanding that our lives can be so full of magic and wealth all around them by what we eat, what we grow, to put a seed in and watch its journey to turn into something like this, and then watch you light up when you eat a bite of it, or someone who's never tasted a pineapple without acid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or something that's grown that way. And then to look underneath me and lift the soil up and know, wow, it's beautiful and black, and I've enriched it with my journey, sort of. So for me, it's about that. It's about we're put here to be stewards. And if we are stewards and we malama, we take care of the land, it takes care of us. Mm-hmm. And there's a wealth from that I can't even begin to explain. Mm-hmm. And look, I get to be with you, so.
Yeah. So Eddy has I remember he has a great story of when you were a kid talking to a guy on Molokai about retiring so that you can have time to surf. Do you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was telling me he was actually in the a couple stories get mixed up there.
No, I was thinking.
So what would I pay to? What would you pay? What are they going to pay you to work? Are they going to pay you $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $1,000 an hour? Okay, so let's put that to what do you love to do the most in the world? I would pay $100 an hour to surf if I could and I could afford it. What else would money be for? So I just decided rather than try to search someone else that's going to pay me $10 an hour, $20 an hour, $100 an hour. Why don't I just create my own money and my own time and space out of like finding a way to do it by the laws of nature, sort of, and what's there already. I don't know if that's a great explanation of it, but.
Well, I think it's interesting in the context of starting an online business, because a lot of people start their business because, I mean, we're post-COVID times now, or like middle COVID times now, who knows? So it was different before that, where a lot of people just started businesses because they were either laid off or they were so bored of the work that they had, or they were being mistreated by their employers during COVID. So a lot of people started online businesses then, but before then, and even now, a lot of people started them because they either had something that they were so passionate about, they're like, why not try and figure out if I could spend all of my time doing that thing? Or like, I can't handle working a 9-to-5, so I need to figure out a way to do this on my own. And for me, and I'm going to tie this into the off-grid paradise, I promise. For me, I got into working online and freelancing in the beginning because I couldn't work a 9-to-5 job. I didn't, like, my mental health couldn't handle it, so I was just freelancing. And then I got into, this was like, the side part of this was I was also really afraid of society collapsing. Like, I still think it will collapse. I mean, if I'm being honest, maybe not in Hawaii. We're like our own little special thing in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The importance of having wealth from a lot of different areas of like, you're not just making financial wealth, but you're able to like grow, I don't know, is this, how heavy is this?
Like 5 or 6 pounds.
A 5 or 6 pound pineapple. You're able to grow all of your own food. You're able to build a community around you that has aligned values. And also, like, for people who wanted to come into online business because of freedom and having more freedom, I feel like there is nothing more free than knowing that you can support yourself no matter what the external environment is, right? Yeah. like, let's say society does collapse. It's fine because you are your own self-sustained unit. Like, you have community that you are safe around. I didn't mean to completely take over this.
Oh no, I'm just background right here. So like just to
This is my lovely assistant.
I am a lovely assistant right now. No, so to say that there's something to be said. I am a weird one to ask me that question because I never had a job.
Yeah. So Eddy has never had a job ever.
I tell her stories like there's 3 ways. There's like 3. When I was a child, someone told me that there was the 3 stages. First, there's survival, then there's acquirement, and then there's philanthropy. And through growing things, I realized as a child that I could surf all day, plant some seeds, and a couple weeks later, a couple months later, whatever, I could be giving wheelbarrows of food away. So that's philanthropy kind of skipped a step for me that way. And I realized that I could be able to give and be on the giving end of the stick. When you're able to put yourself in that position and you don't operate out of desperation, the world opens up for you. And so you don't really rely on others. You rely on yourself and your own capacity to vision and create what you want around you. If it's from the dirt and a seed that you plant something, then we see the most utterly prolific magic that's so obvious all around us, and that's nature, which we're very disconnected from right now. So the idea of thinking of that the same way with our businesses and with like how we provide our income, you hear people talk about the word manifestation a lot of time. I don't think you can just sit there and burn some sage and go woo, 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 and you're going to manifest something. It needs to come with action as well. And so that action is what fulfills life. And I think those are the different forms of wealth in a sense. And that's why you see me holding up my $1,000 bill.
I think it's really cool about it. It isn't just about single human action, because when you're working with nature, it's not like the human is doing all the work. It's the human is working in alignment with all of these other powerful natural forces. Like anyone who's ever had a fruit tree in their yard. If you've ever had a fruit tree going off in your yard and you're like, oh, I want an avocado. Oh, but I don't want 100 avocados ripe right now. Like, oh my gosh. So when you actually are doing things where you're like growing the eggplant plant that has like 20 different eggplants all ripe right now, you suddenly realize like you have way more than enough. You actually have so much that you either need to make a business out of it, or you need to give it away, or you need to support your community. So I'm just looping back into the manifestation thing. It's when you're working with nature, when you align with nature, then it's not just about a human alone taking action. We're actually able to draw on these significantly more powerful forces than us.
You want to eat on the camera?
I don't know if I want to eat on camera.
So delicious and so fulfilling.
You need to take some.
Nice. No, yeah, so I think there's something magical about connecting yourself to nature and watching what unfolds around you. And I think if you can take some of those same practices and involve them in your life, in your business, in whatever it is, and try to let things unfold, you come at them from a perspective of I'm creating. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like almost, I don't know if I have a mantra, but that's kind of like mantra-ish for me. Like being that stage of, being productive and creation in a sense, or co-creation with whatever's there.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, and a lot of people come at it from different directions of, like we already talked about, feeling like society's going to collapse, so you need to be able to take care of yourself, which is a legitimate reason. But it's also like we're in a stage where the world is falling apart, and you look at all the natural disasters, and you look at wildfires in California, or sea levels rising. We don't really have we all really need to step up and do our part, or else a lot of people are going to not be have to face disasters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, totally.
I'm not wording it right.
Well, it's interesting for me. What some people coming from a preppers or a doom and gloom kind of perspective. I think for me, and I can only speak for myself in that way, as a child, I've sort of lived outside of the fish tank by choice. So I'm not the guy complaining about the rules that don't fit for me, because I'm not in the tank anyway. I bend them the way that I need them. Without hurting anyone else. Mm-hmm. So being in that perspective of not actually being in the fish tank so much, you don't even come from a doom and gloom or a survival mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You come from just a non-desperation state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're seeing it clearly for what it is. If that makes any sense. So often I've told people
you're coming out of sufficiency already.
Right. And so when I was a child, I'm a bit older, and there was no social media, there was nothing like that. And I was constantly sharing with people, hey, the things going around you are very much an illusion. They're created on these little tiny things that hold one illusion up on top of another. The things that aren't illusion are in nature. The things that aren't illusions are that we need to feed ourselves, that we need water, that we need love and family. These things are not illusions. This is part of the human condition. So for me, just knowing that I live in this world that's full of illusions, none of it's real anyway. So there's not even really anything to fall apart.
Yeah.
In a sense, you're just playing the role you want, coasting in it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the illusion that isn't an illusion is what the illusions have done to nature.
Yeah. The
illusions have decimated nature. And now it seems like nature is the illusion for most because they're so disconnected. I don't mean to get on a sad thing, but
and there are real repercussions from real actions of like more wildfires, more like natural disasters, all these things because of human action.
If we don't set
decades of human action.
If we don't set good examples for what farming should look like, it's going to be massive monocropping like it is all over America and all over the world, soybeans and corn and stuff that does nothing for the land, does really nothing for anybody but giant corporations and destroys the earth in the process. People are totally unaware of what the clothing industry does and how much a part of agriculture that is.
Yeah.
And so we need to show really good examples of agriculture that are beautiful and make you feel like you're a part of the land, and also heal the land as you grow things, not just see it as a dollar bill. So I think that's like got to come around right now. So like just in reference to that, I think that's where agriculture and nature, regenerative farming in particular, and small farms, people taking back their connection to nature so that we can feed future generations, not only with food, but with the smartest intellect I've ever come across is nature.
Yeah.
The only mega genius I know is nature. And as left to its own, its perfection, we often interrupt that as humans. And so, don't mean to go off too far on a tangent, but it just makes me think about that and what we're saying. So,
So tune in again next week. We'll have more videos on marketing and using spirituality in your business to grow and thrive and be more abundant like nature. And also check out my husband, Eddy, at Living Earth Systems.
That's me. That's my spiel. livingearthsystems.com. Check us out on Instagram. You can check out our nonprofit, which is Regenerative Education Centers, recenters.org. See what we're doing, seeing how we're helping connect people back to the land. And I get to even do something with my wife with it. Awesome.
Well, and also if you want to see really adorable reels of baby pigs and tortoises and kittens, then go check out Living Earth Systems on Instagram for sure.
I thought I had regenerative agriculture.
You have that too, but like I'm trying to pull them in with the cute baby animals.
Okay. Right on, everybody.